Men, stop explaining yourself to your woman. Stop completely. It cuts off your cock. Pretty good, huh? Yeah. I admit, I was kind of at the top of my game at that point. Surfing the internet. Getting clients. Rocking the free world. Until the World Wide Web collapsed. And all the big tech companies started censoring every single platform that went against the norm. The Great Reset, the Great Purge. Yeah. The thing that haunts us now is our memories. We actually remember a free world, where we could say pretty much whatever we wanted to say on the internet. And then all the scenery was pulled from the stage, the chairs and the tables, paintings, the drapes, the artificial windows. As Frank Zappa said, they can just take all that scenery away and you'll see that freedom was always a theatrical illusion. What I don't understand, and I'm just going to be straightforward here, it's incomprehensible to me, is why they shipped me to another planet. Now I have my little square here on some planet. Very rocky, very green, like dark green, lots of shadows and jagged edges. And I could see some luminescent moon ahead of me. And of course, the moon is just broadcasting signals into my mind. And I look over here, and I look over here, and I look behind me. All these human beings on their squares, and I think the squares have to be about 3 feet wide. You know, 3 feet wide this way, 3 feet wide this way. Some kind of linoleum, very advanced linoleum, because it keeps me heated inside this gelatinous membrane that's transparent and moves with my hands. It's like I'm inside of a jellyfish, really. And then the nutrients come up through my feet into my body. And God knows what else is happening here. I can be, of course, siphoned from the gelatinous membrane that's coextensive with my epidermis. And it's probably mining me for some blockchain technology. My neocortex is being used for advanced quantum computation based on the double helix of the DNA. I don't know. Why not just put a bullet in my head and be done with it? Why sit here and exploit me like chattel slavery? can't talk to my neighbors. All I can do is just receive messages from this moon. And of course I still get the internet of everything. But I know it's an illusion. I know that all of it's artificial now. All of it's this propaganda programming. There's no freedom left in that. I know because I wasn't doing anything outrageous and I got plucked. I got deplatformed. I'm a little bit cold, to be honest with you. It's probably like negative 200 degrees outside of this gelatinous membrane. And I'm a little bit amazed that I can stand for so long. I sleep like this. So yeah. I remember Earth. I have no idea whether I'm on some foreign planet or this is just some simulation in my mind. I don't know if there's human beings really over there in the same situation that I'm in. Billions of us. I don't even know if we're all from the same planet. Humanoids could be from multiple planets and all the troublemakers end up here. I just was, I told you my last words on the internet. Maybe I got plucked for other reasons. But I think human beings by the millions started to wake up there toward the end, and they realized that freedom was definitely a charade, that they had been born into this propaganda and had been taught from elementary school through college and beyond that they were free. You're free. No. The media would promote that. Entertainment would promote that. It was everywhere. The land of the free. American in my case. But it was an illusion from the beginning. Maybe they're studying me. Right? They're not just using my DNA for advanced quantum computation, putting all the information on the blockchain and betting on it. But maybe they're studying me too. Or maybe it's like the Truman Show and people are watching me and getting a big kick out of my soliloquies, talking to no one. Talking to you, but I don't know who you are. They're gonna probably just study me for eons. They're gonna understand how the human being works and use that for more vicious programming. There's a lot of times where I just try to convince myself that this was a dream. This is a dream. What is the sense of me being here on a 3x3 foot linoleum? Like I'm some species specimen inside of a taxidermy jar, looking at the moon. Hypnotized by the moon, whatever it's putting in my mind, keeping me here. What I don't understand even more than anything else is why I haven't had a breakdown. You'd think that if you were in prison, away from your species, away from your planet, that you would be crying and weeping, but it's just been normal for me. Nothing bad has happened to me psycho-spiritually. I kind of gave up on getting out of this. I kind of gave up on dying, and there's no way to end my life now. There's no understanding of how long this has been going on, how long it will continue to go on. There's no understanding of the purpose. There's no real knowledge of anything at this point, because I've been so dissociated from the familiar anything now. I don't even know if anything that I'm telling you is true. And I can guess and surmise things, like, for example, this whole charade is the outgrowth of fake news, which became fake reality. Everything became fake. And when everything is fake, there's no truth. And we stop caring. And we become as jello. Anything is okay. We're open to every innovation. We suspend judgment, then we toss judgment. We're here to be entertained because there is no more truth. There's no more truth as to understanding what's happening out there. There's no more truth as to understanding what's happening here. There's just no truth. There's just an endless parade of sensations that either titillate or torture. Like, you ask yourself, was it worth it? Was it worth it 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 1,000 years ago? I don't know how many years ago. I don't know. Was it worth it being so apathetic to all the tyranny and corruption, to all the malevolence and evil? Was it worth it? Because you're like, I've got my brown paper bag, I've got my lunch, I'm walking to school, it's okay, it's enough, nothing bad is going to happen. And billions of people were saying essentially the same thing, as far as I can tell. And it happened. The illusion of freedom was stripped away. The theatrical scenery was put in storage, and there you had the bare stage of tyranny. And then the overlords just came out from the sides, from the wings. And then we were all shipped away. Of course, the complacent ones, sheep, zombies, they're probably back on Earth, enjoying their med beds in their own luxury bungalows and cottages. They've got their, mark of the beast, their quantum dot tattoo, RFID microchip, whatever it happens to be. I don't know, I got shipped away. I got shipped because I wouldn't get chipped. Now, they obviously knew that because they can deduce these things based on, I don't know, some kind of algorithm, but they can tell who are the troublemakers, the seditious ones, who aren't going to comply, and they knew that about me. So I don't know how they got me out here, maybe in some kind of space vessel, when I'm put into cryogenic sleep and then I wake up in a different galaxy. And I would be amazed if in these taxidermy jars to the left and right of me, if there were actually other species of other life forms from other planets altogether. Maybe we're simply being studied like we're all in a zoo. And maybe they understand that I like to talk, and that I need an audience, and that I crave attention, and that I gotta just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk to make myself feel good, to self-soothe. A lot of self-soothing. They probably figure that if I can just talk, I'll be okay. Why am I so interesting? Why not just put me down? Why keep me alive? Unless they're really, really sadistic fucks. Sadistic fucks. Like, they just love to watch. And so there was millions of people and a few elite psychopaths orchestrating the show. And these millions of people are just loving it. They're like, see what happens when you're not a sheep? See what happens when you're not a zombie? You don't get to enjoy the perks of this globalist civilization where AI automation takes care of everything, and we got a very, very subservient menial labor class doing everything, taking out the trash, making our meals, scrubbing our floors. Whatever the robots don't do, and the AI doesn't do, we've got the slaves. And all we had to do was go along with all the orthodox narratives. Oh, the propaganda, yeah, maybe. Part of us knew that it was a lie. Part of us knew, but we also knew the consequence of not going along with the lie. We also knew the consequence of resistance. Because look at this guy. And they sit there. And they watch me. An animal in a zoo. They watch me and they take such delight. Schadenfreude. Delight in another person's sadness. That's why I am here. Because all the slaves, the sheeps and zombies, they all get to look at me, going mad, but not going mad, just talking like a raving lunatic here in my membranous cell on planet 269A43. Whatever it happens to be, under the spell of the moon, broadcasting its hypnotizing wavelengths into my mind, getting regenerated from the ground up and warm, or really cool, kind of cold, on a planet that's negative 200 something degrees. I'm here because the slaves need to be entertained. They need to be reminded that there are consequences for disobedience. And they need to understand that if they ever go against the orthodoxy, if they ever question the mainstream news, that this is what's going to happen to them. They're going to be permanently outcast and ostracized from planet Earth. So I am here, a hero of conscience. I've got you, I'm talking to you, I'm talking back. I'm resisting. I'm unhappy. I can't help it. I have this memory of what it was like to comply and acquiesce. Part of me wishes I could just be on that sofa there with you, enjoying the fruits of your servitude, and looking at another person just like me. But I've got a conscience. My conscience won't allow me to be anything other than what I am. So do you understand what I'm actually saying? That this is the reward of having a conscience. This is what you get. You get permanent isolation. And those who don't have a conscience, they get to sit on the sofa and watch me burn in the hell of my own morality. Burn in the hell of my own conviction. Burn in the inferno of truth. This is my punishment. That I'm obsolete. That I actually believe in moral principles. That I actually say no. That I actually believe right versus wrong. Good versus evil. This is the price I pay. Whereas you who lack principles, and all you do is pleasure, you get to be there and enjoy me foaming at the mouth for millennia, because I'm not gonna stop as long as this damn fucking taxidermy jar keeps me alive. I'm gonna keep on talking to you and keep on tormenting you until one day you realize that you sold out your conscience for pleasure. You sold out your conscience for pleasure. And you may be comfortable. You may think you got it all figured out, but somewhere deep inside, you know you're just a walking contradiction. That there's really no value in your life. That you are not valuable at all. And that I am invaluable. That you cannot estimate my value because you've got no frame of comparison because you're a fucking sellout. You went along with the agenda. And now your life is meaningless. And now you get to be entertained by someone who gets to search for meaning. Forever.